Welcome to Leisha Today. So today we're going to go over how to sublimate a frosted glass tumbler using a mug press. So I haven't done this one in any of my videos yet. So I just wanted you guys to see how to do it. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to turn on this mug press. This one is the, looks like it's called Giraffe, maybe. It's Giraffe. I'm putting it on the settings so that it has 160C, 180C. I put it on 200C, and then I usually do the time, even though I don't really use it. I just put it on 200. So then what I'm going to do now is grab a mug to put in there so that I can heat this up. Because it says on top, no heating up without a mug. So I put a mug in there. Okay, so what you need for this is your mug press. You need whatever you're going to be sublimating your image, sublimation image, and so then you're going to need whatever your blank is. So I'm going to be using this pink frosted glass tumbler with the screw top. So make sure you take your top off. Make sure you have some heat tape. And then we should be good to go. So now that's letting me know that it's ready. So what we're going to do, see if I can get it lighter. Not better. Kind of darker. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cut out the parts of the image that I don't need. So let me show you guys that. Alright, so it's letting me know that it's ready. Alright, so I cut down the image smaller so that will fit around my tumbler. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to wrap it. Let's see, it looks like I can make it a little bit smaller. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller on the bottom. Let's see. Make sure I'm not cutting off any of my design. Alright, so make sure you have your orientation of your paper the correct direction, especially when you have wording on it, so that you don't have any backwards or upside down words. Alright, so again, I'm going to put this on. I'm going to stand it up while I put the paper on there just to make sure that it's even. Okay. And then what I like to do is I like to hold it really as tight as I can. And then I'm going to tape it. I usually put 3 pieces of tape, but I might put more. Let's see, I might just put one down the seam line, even though this doesn't really have any seams to it, so it should be fine. Okay. So I'm going to put another piece of this bigger sublimation tape down the middle of it, just to make sure it stays on. Okay. Alright, so the other thing that you need to make sure you have are your heat resistant gloves. Okay, so then we're going to put this in there. So I'm going to scoot it closer, get you guys closer so you can see. So I'm going to take this, oh, you know what else I have is also this little mat, just so I don't burn my table. So I have an extra one of those. So now I'm going to take this mug out And then I'm going to place this one inside so it's all wrapped. And then I'm probably going to have to adjust the settings on here so that it will be a tight fit. Okay, so I'm going to put this in. And then I'm going to keep screwing this thing down until it gets tight around it. So let's see. Looks like. Okay. So then I'm going to let it stand for, say, 60 seconds. I usually put a timer on my phone, but since I'm already started, I'm just going to like count it out. And since the tumbler is pretty much bigger than the mug press, I'm gonna have to like move it around so that I'm able to sublimate the entire tumbler, or I should say glass. Okay, so I'm gonna open it, and then I'm gonna scoot it in more so that it's gonna get the entire image. Make sure it locks into place. There we go. Gotta get it locking. Okay. So we're gonna let that sit again. And make sure okay. And then I'm going to take it out just to see. Sometimes I try to like look to see if it's sublimated okay. So let's see. Because this mug press seems like it might not go tight enough on it. Let's see, let's turn it off. Alright, so like I said, I'm not sure if it was tight enough on there, so I'm just going to take it off just a little bit just to see if it has sublimated at all on here. Okay. See. Alright, so I'm going to take it off. Let's see. Oh yeah, so it looks like it did, kind of. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it looks like it didn't quite sublimate fully. So like I said, it's not tight enough on there. So what I'm going to do is okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it into my convection oven instead, since this tumbler is too small. Okay, so now we're to the convection oven, so we're going to turn it on. And I put it on 350, and I'm going to push start. Okay, so again, I'm doing this because my mug press, so that giraffe, I guess it's called, it did not squeeze tight enough around the tumbler, so now I'm having to put the tumbler into my convection oven, and this is why I love the convection oven. for the simple fact that it doesn't matter what size your tumbler or whatever it is that you're sublimating that can go into the convection oven is, because you can use the shrink wrap to be able to have it be tight around there, as well as you don't even have to have the shrink wrap on it, but I just use it just to make sure that it's tight. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take that tumbler that I already had set up to use in the mug press, but then we found out that it was too small. The diameter was too small. So this is an 18-ounce frosted glass tumbler. So if you guys have that same mug press, this one does not fit in there, just so you guys know. So anything that's like this diameter in this size is not going to fit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare it into the shrink wrap film. And you guys saw the design sublimated a little bit on there, so I don't think I'm going to have it in the oven for too long, like I usually put it on. So I might just take off a minute. So once it tells me it's ready, then I'm going to put it in, and I will get back to you guys. Okay, so now the oven is ready. So I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to do it like I always do. Just put it in there without using the heat gun. Let it kind of wrap around itself. Or I should say, let the shrink wrap around the tumbler. And then I'm going to put it on 3 minutes instead of like 4 or 5. Only because, like I said, I've already put it into that mug press that didn't really fit in, and it did sublimate on certain portions of it. So I'm guessing the part that was like laying directly on the heating source. So I just want to make sure I don't over sublimate it. So we'll see how it goes with 350 degrees for 3 minutes after it's already been in the mug press and was partially pressed in certain areas. Alright, so I'll get back to you guys when it's closer to the time for it to be finished. Alright, so it's almost ready. So I just wanted to tell you guys, like I usually do, I'm going to take it directly out of the oven, and I'm going to take the shrink film or shrink wrap off so it doesn't harden and make it harder to get off. Okay, so when you first take it out, it's still very soft, so you're able to take it off very easily. So that's what I'm doing here. And then, let's see. Try not to take my gloves off if I don't have to, but sometimes it's just harder to get this tape off with your gloves. There we go. So it looks like it's coming off just fine. I got one more piece. Okay, so let's look at this finished product. Alright, so let's take this off. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Alright, that came out beautiful. Alright, so I guess if you're trying to do something small, then make sure you have a heat press or mug press that can go the diameter of this 18-ounce tumbler, and or just use your convection oven. I feel like it's easier just to use a convection oven. You can put multiple tumblers in here, so you can do more than one, and you don't have to worry about the size. And I like that, so you don't have to buy different accessories for like a mug press. So anyways, I don't know if you guys noticed that there's like little white pieces of the paper on there still, and that is not any mistake or anything. That's just the paper on there. So let me show you real quick what you can do to get that paper off of there. Okay. Okay, so I'm back. So I just literally went to get a washcloth and I wet it with some water. You could probably just use a paper towel or something, but I'm just going to use the washcloth, because I just have some dingy ones that can be used for my crafting. Okay, so still have your heat gloves on if it's still hot. It will still work if you let it cool down. You don't have to wait for it. You don't have to do it while it's still hot. All right, so you see the pieces right here. So if you take the wet part of your washcloth and you wipe it, gone. You see that? So if you ever see that happen on your tumbler or whatever blank you're using, just go ahead and wipe it down with some water, or a wet, should say a wet washcloth or towel, and it'll come right off. So don't ever think that you messed it up just because you see like the white parts. That's nothing that messed up or anything. It's literally just the paper kind of stuck to whatever your surface that you're sublimating. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more videos. All right, stay blessed.